And yep. So good evening, guys. Good evening once again, all the guys who were chatting till now. So good evening to all of you, and I welcome you all to this day one of Flutter Essentials. Now, this course is going to be of 5 days in which we're going to be learning a lot of Flutter. So first of all, I'm like back on YouTube maybe after 1 month. So good evening to all of you. Okay, I missed training you guys. Okay, so now, guys, first of all, I saw a lot of people asking about are there any prerequisite for this Flutter course. So first of all, if you know any basic programming language, like for example, if you know JavaScript, if you know C++, that is completely fine. That is enough. You don't have to know a lot of development. Like you don't have to have a lot of development knowledge to start with Flutter. If you know basics of programming, that is completely enough to start with Flutter because we are starting from scratch. I'll show you how to do the installation, how to do the setup, how to run your first app in your mobile phone or in Emulator, but I'll also show you how to do it in mobile phone. Don't worry about that. And then we'll go ahead and start learning how to put images, audio, right? All of that stuff, text field, how to read data. So a lot of things. You know, any programming language is fine. You just have to have the knowledge of like some kind of programming language, like loops, conditions, arrays, objects. If you know that much, that is enough. That's it. Okay, so let's get started, guys. So for all the people who know what Flutter is already, no issues. For all the people who don't know what is Flutter, we are starting from scratch, so don't worry. Okay, so once again, guys, good evening, and let's start with Flutter. So first of all, before we start, what exactly is Flutter? So guys, Flutter is nothing but it is simply what do you say SDK. When I say SDK, SDK basically stands for Software Development Kit, or you can also say it's a framework. So either you can consider it a software development kit, or you can also consider it a framework, which is basically used to create interactive and beautiful. When I say beautiful, I mean it. Interactive and beautiful UIs for almost every kind of device. Not only mobile application, guys. You can use Flutter to develop any UI for any kind of device, ranging from mobile to desktop, for web, for any kind of device. Like for example, if you go on their site, you can see directly build apps for any screen. You can see web, you can see mobile phone, you can see desktop, anything. So by using Flutter, so now that's what it is. By using Flutter, you can develop apps for any screen, for any platform. So it's nothing but it's a software development kit or a framework provided by Google so that you can use it and make interactive UI or interactive front end applications for any kind of screen. That's it. That's what Flutter is. And today we are going to basically see from where to download this software development kit or framework, how to set this up in our PC, and how to basically do all the other setups that Flutter needs. And then we'll start with the development. Okay, all of you are with me? Understood, guys, what Flutter is? And one more thing, very important to understand before we move ahead. As I said, it is cross-platform. It basically means, okay, it is cross-platform. So when I mention it is, I'm very bad at spelling. So when I mention it is cross-platform, guys, so basically the first thing, you can develop apps for any screens. Second, there is a lot of question going on like, okay, does this develop apps for what do you say, Android as well as iOS and mobile apps? So yes, whatever app you create in Flutter will run for both iOS and Android. And not only it is limited to this, as I mentioned, it's cross platform. It will run as a web application. It will also run as a desktop application for Windows. So it covers all the platforms. And the best part is you write code only once. That means it has a single code base. Now normally if you're doing native development, like for example, you're using Android Studio and you're writing Java code or Kotlin code, you're only developing app for that particular platform, that is Android platform, right? If you only want to develop an app for iOS, you might be using Swift. If you only want to develop an, let's say, app for web, you have to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? But if you use Flutter, you're writing code only once, but you're developing for all the other platforms. So that's what Flutter is going to do for you. Now it's not like is it basically showing that okay, we don't have to use anything else? It's not like that. You can still master all the other native development technologies, but for now, as of now, Flutter is one of the best tools for iOS and Android if you want to develop mobile applications. Currently, it's not like really great for web or desktop because a lot of other frameworks and native development techniques are there. Like if you want to go for web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript is still better. But for mobile applications, it is one of the best nowadays. So you can always go for it. So yeah, it is very powerful. And for now, mobile application, it has covered like the whole market. It's on top right now. But for the other things like web, desktop, it is still reaching there because the other things are very powerful. So to cover up, Flutter has to come up with some really cool features in future. Okay, so let's go, guys. Let's go. Now we know what Flutter is. It's simply a cross-platform software development kit which helps you to develop apps for multiple platforms by writing only a single code base. So now then, guys, let's get ahead and let's start with the setup. So to start with the setup, come here and just click on get started. Okay, and now here you'll simply see Windows, Mac OS, Linux. So basically right now, which kind of PC or which platform you're using. So in this case, I'll select Windows. Okay, as because I'm using Windows. So as soon as you select Windows, here you go, get the Flutter SDK. So this is the one. Now it will take time, so I have already downloaded it because it's like around 1 GB. It's around 930 MB. So once you guys also download it, it will take a little time. So you just click on it, okay, and let it download. So I'm not downloading it right now, it will take a lot of time. So just click on it, it will take around 10-20 minutes depending on the internet speed to download. Once you download this, you will get something like this. Let me show you my download folders. Okay, so here we go. You will then get something like this. I hope you can see it, guys. I hope you can see it. Here we go. Flutter Windows. You will basically get a zip like this. Okay, I'm deleting the extracted one. Let me just cancel it. Okay, so you'll get simply a zip like this, then perform an extraction. So then after that, you'll get something like this. After performing the extraction, you will get something like this. Okay, and once you have extracted it, I hope you know how to extract. You have this folder, and this is the important folder that we want, this Flutter folder. Okay, just take this. You can put it anywhere. Okay, you can put it anywhere, but personally I prefer to copy it or cut it and paste it in my C drive. Here, see, straight away directly in my C drive. You can also paste it anywhere, but I prefer it here because it's like a software, right? It's like an environment that I'm putting in my PC. So that's why I would like to always put it here, but you can put it anywhere. Okay, is it cleared, guys? First step cleared. Downloading the SDK. Okay, downloading the SDK, and then after that, simply extracting it and getting the Flutter folder, putting it in a C drive or anywhere you like. It's totally up to you. So that is basically the first step. Get the Flutter SDK. After that, it's very important to update your path. Once you do it, then you can run Flutter commands from anywhere in your PC and run your project also from anywhere in your PC, or create Flutter projects anywhere in your PC. Okay, so that's why you have to update your path. Now, no need to read this. I'll show you how to do it. So once you have got it, what you have to do is go in the Flutter folder, go in the bin folder. Okay, and then copy this whole path, copy this whole bin path, and then simply search for environment variables. Okay, once you search for it, you have something like this. Just click on this environment variables button, and in the user variable section, not in the system variable, guys, in the user variable section, click on path. Okay, and click on new. And here, or either click on new, or the other way is you can just click on edit and you can just add a path. Now you can see I already have added that path, but if you want to add new, just click on new here and paste your path. That C Flutter bin path, just paste it here and you're good to go. Okay, so I already have it here. I'm not going to put it, but you guys have to put this. Is that cleared, everyone? Cleared with the second step? So that was basically the second step. Let me just open it. Here we go. Update your path. Okay, once you're done with this, okay, once you're done with this, you also have to install something called as VS Code, because that is the code editor that we are going to use. Okay, that is the, now again, it's not important to have VS Code. You can also use any other editor, but Flutter, even Flutter suggests that you should use VS Code because it has really cool extensions to develop the application and running it and handling it. Okay, so install an editor called as VS Code. Now, I hope that for a modern developers, you might be already having it. But again, if you don't have it, just go ahead. It's a simple, cool, lightweight code editor. It's a very powerful code editor. So again, depending on your OS, just in my case, I'll just click on Windows and then here it will start downloading it. I don't need it because I already have it, so I'm going to cancel it. Once you install it, just simply, once you download it, just simply double click, just check all the paths, just basically agree to everything and install. And once it's done, simply you can search for VS Code. It should appear like this. Okay. Now you have VS Code. Chrome you'll be already having because Flutter also says to have that. But again, it's not important. Okay. Once you're done with path, guys, once you're done with path, what you have to do is, so path is important. VS Code is not important, but I'm just suggesting you to have it. Okay. Once you're done with that, just open your terminal. Okay. Just open your command prompt or terminal or whatever you call it. Let me just make it a little bigger. Okay. Like that. And here then run Flutter. Run Flutter. If you get something like this, that means path is properly updated and you have your Flutter installed. If this doesn't work, if it gives you Flutter is not recognized as command or something like that, try restarting your PC once. And if after that also it's not happening, that means there is some problem in the download or in the path. But this should be something that should be running. Flutter. PowerShell is also fine. Anything, CMD, PowerShell, anything. Now, once you're done with this, you should run sorry, command called as flutter doctor. You have to run this command. It will take a minute. It will show you if all the things are settled up in your PC or not. Now see, it's telling me that okay, fine, you have Flutter. Flutter is installed. Android toolchain done. Chrome, I have it. It also requires Visual Studio, but only if you're planning on to develop desktop applications. If you're not planning to develop desktop applications, you don't have to install it, guys. It's telling me that you don't have it, but fine, I don't need it because I'm not planning on to develop desktop applications. But yeah, Android Studio, I need it, so I'll show you how to install it. Don't worry. VS Code, yes, I have it. Connected devices, I normally use Flutter a lot, so I have it, but I'll show you how to do it. And all the basic stuff will be there. Okay, so don't worry about Visual Studio, guys. You only need it if you want to develop desktop application. Otherwise, you don't need it. So don't worry about this X here, red mark here. Don't worry. Okay, is that clear, guys? Everyone, run Flutter Doctor and see if you have all the basic stuff. The only things that should be fine here is Flutter, Android Studio, and initially no need of connected devices, and that's it. That's all you need. Okay. Now, why do we need Android Studio? Like as I said, we are not going to be doing what you say working natively on Android. If I'm using Flutter, why do I need Android Studio? I need Android Studio for the basic support that Flutter requires, and also Android Studio helps me to create emulators. Okay. Now, before I tell you emulator, let me answer one question. I know React, so React Native or Flutter, what should I consider? See, both are fine, but it's like Flutter gives you a lot of what do you say native development approach. Flutter gives you a better native development approach. It has access to all the native features of your mobile phones, right? That's why if you tell me, if you give me an option of React Native and Flutter, I will always go for Flutter because it provides you a lot of beautiful widgets. It's a lot easier to develop. So as if you compare it to React Native, I'm not saying React Native is tough because I have also made what do you say applications in React Native. But if you compare both, I will go for Flutter. But if you know React, yes, you can go for React Native as well as you can go for Flutter. But I also after React first learned Flutter, then after that I learned React Native as well. I developed applications in that, but still Flutter is my favorite. Okay, because it, as I said, it provides you a native development approach. It has access to all the native features of the mobile phones. When I say native, that basically means what should I say? Uh, to the core. For example, notification system is a native of your mobile application, right? Like for example, a web application runs on Chrome. So Chrome is the application on your phone, but that web application is not in your phone. Chrome is just loading it from somewhere, from some server, right? So native means which is directly connected or directly inside the environment of your particular device. That's what native is. Okay. Cleared, guys? Everyone? So if you compare, Flutter just gets a little upper hand over React Native. Okay. So now after doing all these things, guys, just head over and learn. Just write Android Studio download. Okay. And here we go. The first link. Okay, and from here you can again just click on download Android Studio. Simple application stuff. You have to just, now I'm not going to download it because it will take a lot of time, because it's also heavy, so it will take 20 minutes. So just download it. Once the file is there, just like any game you install, just double click, agree to everything and install. And once you're done with downloading Android Studio, okay, you can just go ahead and run it. So just run Android Studio. Now, first of all, Android Studio gives you all the basic support that you need. Second thing, it will also help you in creating emulators. Now, guys, what are emulators? For people who don't know, what exactly is an emulator? So, guys, emulator is nothing but a copy of your phone that you can run in your PC. Now, not exactly of your phone, a phone that you can run in your PC, like a simulator, something that's not real but gives you a feel of real. So that's what an emulator is, right? So it will help you to build a phone in your PC where you can run your applications, because you cannot run the applications that you create in your phone directly, because sometimes it might cause issue. What if the application causes some problem and that causes problem in your real device? That's why we always test our applications on emulator. But it's not like that you cannot test it on real phones. I'll also show you at the end of this course or in between how to run your application that you have built in your real phone. But till then we'll be using virtual phone. So Android Studio helps you to set up that virtual phone. It behaves exactly like your normal phone, but it's just you cannot touch it. That's the only thing. So yeah, virtual phone, simulator, emulator, whatever you'd like to call it. Now guys, let me just change the resolution so that I can show you how to set up the emulator if you are new to Android Studio. So let me just, because I think you cannot read it right completely, so let me just change the resolution for a second. Okay, so where can I do it? Yep, I think I can go for a second. Yes. So guys, now I hope you can see it. Everyone, is it visible now? Better than before? For some time I'm changing it. Now see, here I don't want to create any projects, nothing. I don't want to do anything in this case. What I only want to do is click on this more actions. Okay, and here just go this virtual device manager. Okay, this is where you can create emulators. Just click on it and it will open a window that looks like this. Now you can see I have already created one device, but I'll show you how to do it from scratch. So in your case, it might not be here. Okay, now create device. Now what do you want? Do you want to create a TV or Wear OS or tablet? In this case, I'm only focusing on phone. So click on phone. Now select any particular device that you would like from here. Okay, so anything is fine. So you can just select Pixel 5. In this case, just select Pixel 5 and then next. Now after that, which OS, like it's definitely Android, but which version do you want in that? Do you want Pi, Oreo, Nougat, Marshmallow? In this case, see, I have already downloaded Q, but if you want, you can download Oreo, but it will take a little time, around 5 minutes, because it will download the whole Oreo environment. So in this case, I have already downloaded Q. I'm going to use that. But in your case, you can download any one that you want. Download the a little older one. Don't directly download the new one, because a lot of people are not even using it till now, right? So the older version like Nougat, they might be having 100% reach, because all the people don't have directly a new Android phone, right? So whatever you develop, don't always develop it for the new version. Also consider the older versions. Okay, so in this case, Q I have downloaded. Just I'll select that and next. Now here you can give any name to your device. I'll just keep it Pixel 5. You can give any name, whatever you'd like. And after that, if you want, you can just go to show advanced settings, and here you can see how much RAM you want to give it, how much VM heap you want to give it, how much internal storage. Basically, you're creating a phone. Think of you creating a phone. Now, for a virtual device, whatever they give you, depending on your PC, it is the recommended setting. So you can go on with it. But if you want to give it more RAM, let's say you're developing a game or something like that, and you want to test it in your virtual device, so you can give it a little more RAM or something like that. Okay. But for now, depending on your PC's RAM, they give a proper RAM to it. Okay. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so all the settings that you get are perfectly fine, no need to worry about it, but you can read about it afterwards when you create your own emulator. And after that, just click on finish, and here we go. You can see it's created Pixel 5 API 29, and then you can just click on this button, see this run button, click on it, and it will open an emulator for you. Simple. It will take a minute because emulator opening always takes time. Here we go. You can see that, right? A big phone. So it's opening the emulator. It takes time. It always takes a minute or something like that, depending on the PC. Only for the first time it takes time. After that, it's completely fine. And guys, see, I know it takes a little time. Like, we are not yet into Flutter coding, but this is important because a lot of time you'll understand coding, but this is where people face problem. Setting up the emulator, setting up the project. Setting up Flutter project is very important. So I hope you're understanding all the things till now. This is the last step. Now we are directly going to go ahead to Flutter project. So guys, all clear till now? No confusion? Everyone? All set? Please confirm me once, guys. I'm not getting any answers. Come on, quickly tell me. All clear till now? Understood the installation? Basic path? Get the SDK? Extract it? Okay? Set up the path? Run Flutter Doctor? Install all the basic applications like VS Code and all that? Install Android Studio? Create one emulator? And that's it. Now, I don't know, this emulator is taking a little time. So I will use the emulator that I have. And I'm also going to change the resolution because this phone is looking very big. So I hope it closes soon. Sometimes it takes a little time. Okay. And I'm also going to change the resolution. Just give me a minute. This emulator is causing a little issue now. Please close. Yes, close the program. I think it hanged while opening. So I don't know, something happened maybe. I want it to close. And sometimes this will happen, guys. Definitely. For you as well, this might happen someday. Okay. I hope it doesn't happen. Yep. Sorted. Done. And now let me quickly change the display again. So on next class, please teach us using VS Code with an additional simulator. Yes, yes, definitely I'll try, because VS Code also gives you extensions for it. Okay, now it's fine. Perfect. Close all windows. Yeah, finally done. Okay, where is my resolution again? Change it back to normal. Yep, thank you for waiting, guys. Let's go back. And now let's open VS Code. And let me show you how to create a Flutter project. Okay. And see, guys, when you create a, what do you say, emulator for first time, it might take time and it might cost something like this. I didn't wait. I closed it in between only. So no issues. So guys, let's go. Let's start. So now in VS Code, once you come in, first of all, I would suggest you to install one very important extension, actually two important extensions. Okay. The first extension that you need here is something called as Flutter. This is a very important extension. It will help you to run emulator, run Flutter commands directly in your VS Code so that you don't have to do anything outside. So this is very important. You have to install this. See, Flutter from Dart code. I already have it. Okay. And one more thing that you need here is the Dart extension. Okay. So also this one. I also have it. You can see that. Okay. So you need these two extensions, Flutter and Dart, both from Dart code. Okay. Once you have it, just press Control Shift P. It will open the command palette of your Flutter, sorry, of your VS Code. And there you can see we have Flutter new project here, but you can also type it Flutter and see you get this Flutter new project. Okay, just enter. Now it will ask you, what do you want to do? Do you want to create an application, module, package, plugin? What do you want to create from Flutter? I want to create an application. Please generate a new fresh project for me. Okay, so application. And now where do you want to do it? So let's say in our case, we'll do on desktop. And let's call it, what do you say? FLUAPP. So Flu app or something like that, or I'll call it Flutter app. Okay. And select a folder on desktop. That's fine. Oh, come on. What am I doing? I want to do it on desktop. Okay, fine. Here only. And now here we give name. So Flutter app. That's it. And enter. It will take 1 minute now to create a project for you. That's it. So here we go. Your project is created, guys. You have all these folders and files. You can see that. And don't worry, I'll also explain this to you. Don't worry about that. But now, before we move ahead into Flutter and see everything, how it works, you can see, right? There is some code written here. Okay, there is one file open called as main.dart, and this is the most important file that runs initially. And you can see there is some code written here, right? Something like void main, then you have class and object. That means if it is a code, it is some coding language, but it is kind of looking like C, C++, or Java, but it's not that. Flutter is made in a language called Dart, which is kind of similar to C++. Some things are similar to Java, and a lot of things are similar to JavaScript. That's why I said if you know any of these languages, learning Flutter will be very, very easy for you. So it has a lot of features like C++, it has a lot of features like JavaScript, and some features like Java as well. So the programming language name is Dart. And tomorrow's session will be completely dedicated to this. The first half of tomorrow's session will be learning Dart only. So I'll basically show you how Dart works, how to write conditions, loops, arrays, all of that, objects in Dart, so that our future sessions can be much more easier. So tomorrow's focus will be completely on Dart. But for now, we're not focusing on the language. I'll show you some basic things. We'll run your first step and we'll just set up the Flutter. Is that clear, guys? So Dart is a language that Flutter uses, okay, which kind of looks like C++ and Java. Now, leave this code. Let's run this project and let's see what kind of app it is opening. Because by default, Flutter gives you an app. When you create a Flutter project, it by default gives you an app. This whole thing is an app. So let's see. And to run it, guys, you can see here in your VS code, right now I have Windows. Okay, that means if you run this app right now, it will create a Windows application for you. I don't want that. I want to create a mobile application. So select the emulator that you have created. You can see, right? We get the option of the emulator that we have created. So do you want to run it on Windows? Do you want to run it on Chrome? So the same project can behave as a Windows application. The same project can behave as a web application as well. Okay. But I want to run it on a mobile phone. So I'll select this Pixel 2 API 30. So select it. First of all, it will open the emulator and then run this project there. Okay, wait. I have the emulator, but the problem is it's opening my old project. Let me start it from scratch again. So here we go again, and yep, let's see now. And here we go. See, it's opening. I hope you can see the mobile phone. So now it's opening. It will take a little time, guys. Don't close it in between now, because otherwise again it will cause the same issue. And whenever you're working with Android or something like that, your emulators always take time. Either the second option is always mobile phone. Okay. So that's it, guys. And so now, guys, you have it here. Your emulator is open. You can see it works exactly like a mobile phone. So for all the guys seeing it for the first time, don't worry. You cannot use it like a real mobile phone, but yeah, it behaves like it to some extent. Now, emulator is open. Now just go on this project and press F5. Here we go. Now it will build this project, build the APK, and run it on that emulator. Okay, so you have to wait for a minute. And see, guys, if you don't have emulator, the best is your phone. So I'll show you how to do it on phone. Don't worry. Tomorrow I'll also show you how to do it on phone. Okay, why is taking so much time today? It's already running. It's still not. And here we go, guys. Our app is running, and see, got it. So by default, this app is producing this output. See that, guys? Everyone, let me just put it on this side so that we can see both side by side. And let me also just make them a little smaller like this. Okay, so by default, your this app is producing this output, and you can see it, right? A simple app with a simple button here, and if I click on it, you can see the counter is changing 1 2 3 4 5 6, a simple bar here on top, and simple text. Now I can do changes in it, and I can start basically changing the output and creating my own app. Is that clear, guys? Everyone understood or not? Please confirm me this basic code. Okay, now I can do anything here. Like for example, I can go here and change this color theme. So I can say amber. Just save it, and it will perform a hot reload. And on the spot, you can see the changes, right? And you can start building in this same stuff. Okay, but what we are planning to do is we'll simply go and remove this whole code. We don't need it. And we'll start from scratch. Okay, is that clear, guys? Okay, now understand, even if you want to start from scratch, the first thing that you need is you have to import the material.dart, because it will give you the material theme and all the elements that you need. Okay, now before we start, guys, I want to talk about one thing very importantly right now. That is, Flutter is all about something called as widgets. Everything that you see is widget. A button, an image, a bar, a text, anything that you see, it's a widget, guys. Flutter is nothing but a tree of widgets. That means when you make a Flutter app, you're just making a tree of widgets, and that is producing output for you. Just like HTML, guys. Tags. So you have div tag, inside that you put image tag, inside that you put some other tag, right? You have div, inside that you put p. So your output is nothing but a collection of HTML tree. Just like that, here you have widget tree. So everything that you create is a widget, and you can also create your own widgets. Exactly like elements in web dev, here we have widgets. So button, text, everything is just widget, and that's what we have to learn: how to create widgets, how to format them properly, how to like, what do you say, use them, and how the output will look like. That's what Flutter says. Okay, that's it. Everything in Flutter is widget. Okay, is that clear, guys? And the whole thing is written in Dart. Don't forget that as well. Okay, so as you can see, I have removed everything now. And again, guys, if you want to learn more about it, like even after sessions, if you ever want to learn more about it, you can always go. Let me see. Now the site has changed a little, but you can search for widgets here. Let's see, where does it take us? Yep, here we go. So you can always come here and see everything. Flutter documentation is one of the best documentations available. So you can always come here and you can see the basic code and how it works, and you can start using it in your own apps. Okay, so you can come here and see. Is it clear, guys? But again, I'm showing you from scratch, so no need to worry. But in future, you can always come here. Okay. So now then, let's go ahead. Let's close this. And now this material.dat package gives you all the material widgets or all the basic widgets that you need to build your apps. Okay, and right now I have removed everything. Void main is the function that is called initially. So whenever your app is built for the first time, void main is the function that is called, and it has a run app global function. In Flutter, you have a global function run app that actually runs your first widget. Okay, so everything is a widget. Your first application is a widget, and everything inside it is a widget. So your application, your screen that you see, it's a widget. Inside that, the app bar is widget. Inside that, the button is also widget. So now then, first of all, let's create one widget that we need right now. And to create a first widget that you need, just search for st. Now here you get two options. Do you want to create a stateful widget, or do you want to create a stateless widget? For now, stateless widget is fine. When I say stateless widget, guys, it's basically a immutable widget. That means in that widget, data is not continuously changing. Okay, that means it is like a screen that is fixed. I'm not planning on to change any data. I'm not planning on to change the UI of the application when I click somewhere. I'm not planning on to do that. It's just a fixed screen. So that's a stateless widget. No data is going to change on the UI. So for now, stateless widget. And you can see it creates a simple class for you. Is that clear, guys? And now here, cut this and give it a name. So I'm going to call it my app. Okay, or you can call it anything. And then you use the same my app here. So you tell run app that's initially load this widget, that is my app. You tell your run app that initially load this widget, which is my app, because I have created that here. You can see. And every widget that you create or that is created already has a build method. Build is the method that generates the widget. And whenever your data changes or whenever the application re-renders, this build is the method that is called to repaint the screen. So build method is very, very important. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So that's the basic stuff. Okay. So why isn't emulator changed after you deleted the, because I haven't saved it yet. Once you press Control S and save the code, the emulator will change. Okay. Now then, the first thing that I need here is return material app. Okay. So material app. That's what I want. Okay. Now, guys, let me just teach you some basics here. Okay. And inside that, there's a property. So every widget. So see, guys, your my app is a widget that you have created. Okay, my app is a widget that you have created. Inside that, material app is one more widget that I'm using to create the screen for me. Now material app has a property called as home, in which I'm going to pass one more widget. Now right now what widget I'm passing is the most famous screen building widget called as scaffold. Okay, you can see guys, every widget is looking like a function. So scaffold, again brackets like that. Okay, scaffold is the most famous screen building widget, and inside that you simply have properties like, for example, app bar, and you can put like an app bar here. So I'm telling that scaffold screen building widget that I want you to have an app bar, and then here I'm passing app bar widget in which I can mention how I want it to look like. Okay, so here I can simply pass title, and in that title, if I want to pass text, I'll pass a text widget, and inside that I can mention my first app. And now guys, let's save it and see, do we have any output changes or not? Save it and see that guys, my first app. So I have a screen. See, understand, this run app runs my widget called as my app. So this widget is running. It is loading the material app, which is helping me to build a material theme screen. And inside that, scaffold widget is building my screen, and it's having an app bar. An app bar is having a title of my first app. And you can see everything is a widget. App bar, scaffold, material app. Every function that you see here is kind of a widget. Okay. And comma here is used to separate the widgets. Just like you use semicolon, right, in coding languages to separate lines. Comma here is used to separate widgets. But this trailing comma is not important, but we always put it for better formation. That's all. Is that clear, guys? Because comma is here because it is thinking that you might have one more widget after it. That's why they put that comma. But if you don't have it, you can remove it. But possibly, even if you have it, it doesn't cause any issue. Is that clear, guys? Everyone getting the point of how it is working? Guys, please tell me, are we clear till now? So now I can go here. I can put body. Okay, and in the body, I can, let's say, put a text widget in this case. And let me just put like hello. See now. Can you see this hello? Nothing is padded. You can see here, right? See this hello. Let me just make this emulator a little bigger so that you can see it. Not this big. This is too big. Okay. Come on, give me that button. Okay, can you see that hello, guys? Can you guys see that hello, everyone? See? So nothing is padded. Only the app bar was styled. Now we have to style it. Everything else we have to style. The better thing about scaffold is it helps you to, it easily gives you all the widgets to create a title bar. Then the body section can contain this. Now see, it also gives you this floating action button directly. Okay, and then you can create a floating action button widget here like this. Okay, and you can simply have, I forgot the icon one, but let's see what it gives you by default. Let me see that. Okay, I think I'm forgetting about the icon. So let me just get it from here, just to show you for now. Floating action button Flutter, something like that, and just get it from here. It will look very simple. Yep, something like this. On press is a function. Yes, I just wanted this child. Yep. So right now I don't want to do anything on pressed, so just a basic function. I'll leave it blank function. But what I want is I want it to have an icon. So child, an icon. So see, icon is also a widget here. So icon, I can put icons dot whatever icon I want. So in this case, let's say I put add. So it will give me a plus icon there. Let me show you. Okay, comma, I forgot. Here we go. Save it and see that, guys. You got a simple button here. So that's what scaffold does. Child is a property. So guys, this is what, now understand, this is what we have to learn. How many widgets are there? Which widgets have which property? Like for example, see, scaffold widget has a property called as app bar, in which you can pass a app bar widget to create this. Then it has a body property in which you can pass any content that you want here. Then it has a floating action button property in which you can pass a floating action button widget. which has this. Now floating action button widget has two properties, like multiple properties, but right now we're using two, that is on pressed and child. In child, you can pass any icon that you want to display here. See, I'm displaying add right now. Okay, you can display any icon, like add is the one icon, but you can display anything if you get that option. See, a lot of icons are here, so whatever you want. I don't know, maybe let's say do we have any pencil icon? Let me see. Okay, let's just put this any icon. Let's see, it's a different icon now. So that's what you can do, any icon that Google provides, that Flutter provides, you can use it. Okay, so there is a certain way of writing all this, and we have to learn that only. Now you can also on pressed, you can just go ahead and do print hello. Now you'll see this will work. Once I do print hello, see, this will work. Focus on this debug console, guys. I click, see that it printed hello. So when I click, I'm handling event. See, 3 times printed hello. See that, everyone? But if I don't want to print hello, I can also do some other stuff. I can go to some other screen, or I can open a box, or whatever I would like, I can do that. So that's what we can do. These are the things we can do. Is it clear, guys, everyone? And it's very easy. Once you start understanding it, it's very easy. You have to just learn how widgets work. So guys, are we cleared? So all of this is fixed. I'm not using anything. It's all fixed. It's all defined. Okay, that scaffold will have app bar. Material app will have a home property. Floating action button will have on pressed and child. So this is what basics of Flutter looks like. Now, guys, don't think that we have started till now, because we still have to learn Dart first, the basics of Dart that we'll learn tomorrow. And after that, we'll move ahead and start learning. So basically in the first half tomorrow, we can complete Dart easily. So it's from 6:30 to 7 or 7:10. First, on the first 3 days, it will be learning basic Flutter. On the last day, we'll be doing the project setup. Second last day, sorry. And on the last day, finally, we'll be making a project. So tomorrow, I'll also give you the poll. 4 options again, as always. You select what project do you want to make, and we'll make it on the last day. Okay. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. If we have that much time, I'll also definitely show you how to connect your Flutter app to Firebase. Definitely. Why? Definitely. Okay. So guys, I hope you guys understood all the basics of Flutter. The most important thing is setup, because that's where a lot of people fail. They basically know how to code Flutter, but the setup is kind of sometimes intimidating. So I hope you guys understood. And I'll also give you a future path of this, what other things you can learn, and that much will be enough. Flutter is very easy. For starters, it's very easy. Okay. So guys, I really hope that you guys understood all the things that we learned today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this session, but the actual magic starts from tomorrow, when we learn Dart, and when we also start learning the layout system, and then click events and different things, scroll, slide, all that stuff, and finally to the final project. Today was all about setup, introduction, and running your first app, creating emulators. Again, I think kind of boring initially, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's it for today.